Hello everybody, welcome to another episode of Rebuilding the Game Wall. Now it's been a while since I've done one of these, but I figured since, Black Friday and Cyber Monday had just passed last month, I figured I'd do a Rebuilding the Game Wall based on the games that I picked up for that one. So this episode is going to be a little different because I'm not going to look at 7 games that I purchased in the past couple years or so and pick them by random. I'm going by what I picked up for Black Friday and Cyber Monday. So anyways, we're going to start off with, it's all Switch games anyway, so if you're a fan of the Nintendo Switch, by all means stick around. If you're not, then, well, maybe this episode might not be for you, but there are quite a few games here that I picked up because, they were on good sales here, man. I'm glad I waited for a lot of these. So anyways, let's take a look at the first game I picked up. So the first one I picked up was Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 1 and 2 for the Nintendo Switch. Now, I've had this game for the PlayStation 4 for what seems like forever. I actually made a video on it. If you haven't checked out that video, the link to that one is popping up in the title card above on the top left-hand corner of the top right-hand corner of the screen. I never get it right. But anyways, yeah, I picked it up for the Switch because I figured it's the kind of game that I can practice with and play on the go. And so far, so good. I'm really enjoying it. I still kind of suck at it. And I've been out of practice because I haven't played it on the PS4 for quite some time. But, having it on the Switch and having it on the go is actually pretty cool. So, I picked it up on the Switch and it plays great. So, yeah, Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 1 and 2. I paid only 20 bucks for this one. Next up, we have another game called SnowRunner. This is a sequel to Mud Runners, I think Spin Tires. Yeah, it's a game that I wanted to play, but I never got around to it. And I heard the Switch port was really good, and since the Switch is kind of like my main console of choice these days, being able to take it on the go and play games portably, I heard this game ran well on it. It looks good, and so far so good. I'm really enjoying this game. It's not everybody's cup of tea, however. It's a very interesting game, almost like a simulation based game, and it's not for everybody. Definitely not for everybody. It's very slow paced, but the feeling of accomplishment you get when you're able to pull out like a tractor trailer or an 18-wheeler out of the mud and claim it as your own, upgrade your trucks and your scout vehicles and fulfill missions in the environment. So far so good. I'm really enjoying this, and I haven't even gotten to the winter sections yet. So yeah, SnowRunner on the Nintendo Switch. I paid only 20 bucks for this one as well. Next up, we have another game I was really looking forward to getting when it came out, but I never did, and eventually they made a Switch port, which I was like, okay, I'll get that one eventually. Maneater for the Switch is a fun game where you take on the role of a shark. It's got its own little story premise, and you're able to upgrade your shark and everything, and it's actually quite cool. It runs and looks great on the Switch as well, and that's always a plus. And I'm really enjoying this one because it's not very often you get a game where you can play as a shark or any kind of animal, and the fact that I'm able to play this and enjoy it for what it is, it's a fun little romp as a shark. And I gave you the basic sum of the parts, but it's a pretty fun game so far, and I'm sure some of you have checked it out, especially if you like sharks. Next up, we have Dragon Ball Z Kakarot plus a new Power Awakens set for the Nintendo Switch. Now, I was not expecting this game to get a Switch port, but when it was originally announced for the Xbox, I think it was like an exclusive for the Xbox One, I was like, that's cool and everything, but I'm kind of burned out on Dragon Ball Z. So I didn't really pay no mind to it when it originally came out. But once this was ported to the Switch, I was like, you know what? Maybe I'll check that out. And then I remember FemTrooper kept posting on Twitter about it and how much she really enjoyed it. And I was like, alright, you know what? I should probably check this one out. So I did, and so far I haven't really gotten that far into it because it's one of those big open world RPG kind of games, and it's a retelling of the events from Dragon Ball Z, and that's always cool and everything. I've listened and watched that story so many times over, but so far I gotta say the graphics in this one are really impressive, and I'm really liking what they're doing so far. So I gotta get more into it and play it because this is probably one of the best Dragon Ball Z games they've ever released. It reminds me of a lot of Dragon Ball Sagas. Anybody remember that build game on the 6th generation of consoles? I sure remember it. Man, that wasn't that good. And for Dragon Ball Z Kakarot, I paid only 25 bucks for this one. Next up, we have a game that I should have picked up on launch day. For the longest time, I actually still have it pre-ordered at GameStop, but It was on sale for like $35.99 at GameStop. It's the Great Ace Attorney Chronicles, and I still, yeah, like I said, I still have it pre-ordered at GameStop, but I decided to order it online this time because I had a coupon. So it went from $35.99 to $25.99. Yeah. Dragon Ball Z Kakarot also was only like 25 bucks. Now, I love the Ace Attorney series. I've played pretty much every single one. I finished the original 3, I finished number 4, Apollo Justice. I also finished Ace Attorney Investigations. We never got the sequel for that one. And this is a collection of the Great Ace Attorney 1 and 2 that were only released in Japan up until this point. I'm so glad that they actually brought these over, because it's a shame when these type of games don't get released in North America for whatever reason. So the fact that they actually localized it and put it on the Switch and modern day consoles with upgraded graphics is a dream come true. And having played through the first case already, I can already remember why I always loved this series to begin with, because it's just the characters that you meet in these games, and the storylines are so good, the cases, everything about them are so good. I already started the second case. I'm just barely scratching the surface for this one. And if you're a fan of visual novel style games and investigation games, definitely check out the Ace Attorney series. This is a prequel to the other Phoenix Wright games, so you can easily start with this one and really get a kick out of it. So I definitely suggest any of you who haven't picked it up yet, please do. It's an amazing game. So this is another game that I was hoping would get a Switch port at some point, and it so finally did. Destroy All Humans. And I paid only 20 bucks for this one. Regrettably, I never picked up the original games on the PlayStation 2 or Xbox. And fortunately, while I was looking at them on eBay, they announced that this was getting a remake, the original game. So I was like, cool, great. Hopefully there's a Switch port down the line. And they ported it to the Switch, and I couldn't be happier. Paid only 20 bucks for this one, and from what I've played so far, it's pretty fun. I like to have this kind of game on the go, especially a remake of a 6th generation game, pretty much like the definitive edition of it, and I'm really enjoying it so far. However, I can definitely see that some of the gameplay elements of it feel a little, 6th generation-y, but there are a lot of things that they also cleaned up and fixed for this one. I definitely have to play some more of it though. It's a great game so far, and it's got a lot of fans, but I hope the sequel gets a port to the Switch as well, considering that one's going to be exclusive to next-gen consoles, or is it current-gen? The PS5 and Xbox Series. Next up, we have Kiwi. This game was announced very randomly during the Nintendo Direct highlight sizzle reel. It's a very family co-op centric based kind of game. It's definitely best played co-op with 2 people, and anybody who's a fan of couch co-op definitely should check this game out. It's really fun. You take on these 2 Kiwi birds, and you have to basically work at a post office. And there's a lot of cool gameplay features where you pick up letters, send these letters, package them, and ship them away. It's got little mini games where you're feeding these cassowaries that are constantly bickering with each other, and you gotta tell them to shut the F up. It's hilarious. It's so cute and adorable. If you haven't checked out Kiwi, it's definitely worth checking out. If you're a fan of couch co-op games, you should definitely check this one out. So far, it's really fun. And I paid only 20 bucks for this one. I think this one actually dropped to 15 at the time. So it's still probably around that price range. It's one of those budget priced games, and so far, so good, definitely worth it. There's a lot of little customization options in it as well. I may actually do a review on this in the near future. Not sure yet, but yeah, so far I gotta play some more of it with my wife. We're really enjoying it. She loves the Kiwis, thinks they're adorable. I think they're adorable. Kiwi for the Nintendo Switch. But last but not least, we have Hot Wheels Unleashed for the Nintendo Switch. Now, when this was originally announced and shown off, I was like, it's just another Hot Wheels game. I really have no interest in that kind of thing. But once the game came out and reviews actually poured in, and I saw some gameplay of it, I was like, this actually looks pretty damn good. And then they showed off all the Hot Wheels in the game, and they showed off the freaking DeLorean from Back to the Future, and I was like, okay, I gotta get this at some point. And Black Friday, Cyber Monday was the best time to get this game. It dropped to $25. I paid that much for it, and I do not regret it. Now, the single player has got a meaty campaign mode to it, and it's even got a track editor in it as well, so you can build your own tracks. That's cool and everything. It's probably not something I would, invest too much time into because I really don't got that much time in. It is a bit on the tougher side. Some of the vehicles control, like, they really don't have that much weight to them. So you're gonna see me, like rubbing up against the corners as I'm doing the drifting and turning. It definitely has a learning curve to it, and every Hot Wheels kind of feels a little different from the other. So they all have different stats and everything, and that's cool. It's got some loot boxes to it, so that's kind of a bummer when it comes to unlocking the carts. I'm not gonna spend real money on it, no, not at all. But you can buy them with in-game currency. It just takes a while to actually get set in-game currency. Another thing about it that I really do like, however, is that, like I said, it's challenging. On normal mode, I noticed that the AI is rubber banding on my ass, so I probably have to lower the difficulty a little bit because, I suck at these type of games these days, and I got so many games to play these days. Life is hard as it is. Don't be afraid to play a game on easy, alright? But I'm probably not going to play Hot Wheels Unleashed on easy because that would probably be pathetic. But who's going to judge me, right? Hot Wheels Unleashed. When I purchased this one, I purchased Destroy All Humans and a Funko Pop for Sly Cooper. And I mentioned that because I haven't gotten the Sly Cooper Funko Pop yet, but for some reason, since the order is still kind of in this limbo where like one thing or two things have shipped and the other thing hasn't, they sent me 2 more copies of Hot Wheels Unleashed for some odd reason. Yeah, it's got to be a glitch on GameStop's part, and it's not something that I'm going to bring up to them because, hell, if they want to send me more copies of Hot Wheels Unleashed, by all means. And the grand total for all these games pretty much come out to like $175. I probably used a coupon here and there, like I said, a $10 off or a $5 off coupon from GameStop. And yeah, I think I did pretty well in them. So yeah, that's it for this episode of Rebuilding the Game Wall. Have you played any of these games that I mentioned today? And if you have, let me know in the comment section below which ones they were and which ones are your favorite. Anyways, everybody, thanks for watching this episode, and I hope you enjoyed it as the other episodes. If you haven't checked out my Rocky retrospective video yet, please do check that out. It'll be appearing at the end of this video, along with my video for our top most relaxing games of all time with my special guests, fellow YouTubers. I got an all-star cast in there, and I really do love each and every one of your parts. So anyways, thanks for watching, everybody. I'll see you all very soon. And yeah, that's it.